So there's several places we're sending back an image, but at the moment we haven't got an image that we're sending back. And one example would be when we log in, for instance, and I'll just send the request to log in as Bob. And we've got an image in there which we could populate now with the main image for the user. And also if I take a look at our activities and I click on send, then also inside here we have an image for the attendee DTO that we need to send back. And there's a few other places as well. The get current user needs to return an image, and also our register will be returning an image as well. Although technically we've got no way to register a user and let them upload an image at the same time. But just to be consistent, and just in case we ever add functionality to force the user to add a photo at the same time as registering, we'll update all of the areas where we can, where we're returning a user object or an attendee DTO. So let's head back to VS Code. And we'll start with the login method. So let's go to our login handler. And what we return from here is a user object. So what we want to do in here is get the user.photos.firstOrDefault, and we'll bring in system.link, and we'll pick the isMain and then specify the URL. And we'll just add the question mark there because this has the potential to be null. And I'll just copy the expression here and we'll go to our register method and scroll on down. And I know this is pointless at the moment because there's no way in our code we can register a user and get them to upload a photo at the same time. This is really just because we're returning a new user object and just to be consistent, really. And the other place we want to look at is our current user methods. Let's go to the current user handler. And we'll also do the same thing again. So we'll get the image for the current user and just bring in system.link for the firstOrDefault method. And then the other place we want to take a look at is our attendee DTO. And inside the activities, we've got our attendee DTO, and this is the image. Now we're setting this inside a mapping profile. And what we also want to do is add another element to this so that we can also set the image when we return these attendee DTOs. So what we can do for this is specify for member, and we'll say d goes to d.image, and then we'll say for the options we'll say o.mapFrom, and then from the source we'll say s.appUser.photos, and then we'll say firstOrDefault, and once again bring in system.link, and then for the expression we'll say x goes to x.isMain, and then we want to specify the URL in here. And if we save that, that should be everywhere we need to update and send back an image with our requests. So let's head back to Postman and just make sure that is the case. And if I just log in as Bob and click on send, we should find that we get the image back, and we do. And if we go to our activities, and I'll just pick on the get activities inside the module 14 folder and click send, then we should find that we get the image back for all of the attendees that have an image set, and find an entry where Tom is also going, and we also see Tom's image as well as Bob's image inside there. Excellent, and this is as far as we're going with the API at this stage. And what we'll do, we'll head back to VS Code and we'll stage and save these changes into source control, and I'll just say end of section 16, and we'll wrap this up with a summary, and obviously we're going to move on to implementing this on the client side next.